Where's my mic? In the beginning, it's this serum bass is like the main bass part. It's pretty much just this preset, and I don't know, like not much going on, right? I think there's a little bit of chance elements like this. I think that's like a fifth up or something. It has a low chance. There's also a low chance on this little note at the end, and then this is the main guitar sample, I think, right here. Right, and then so before there was that sample, there was this sample, which is just me playing. It's like there's a video on Twitter of it. So let's turn this back on. Oh. And so that's just like there's a tempo control in there to make it like less slappy. There's like a lot of processing that's baked in that I like rendered, and then I but accidentally deleted the original file with the signal chain. So anyway, transient controls on. This is supposed to like add some stereo stuff to it and like compression. I should probably turn the compression down. That might solve my problem. But my problem being that like I didn't like the sharp attack, and I was trying to make it less of a sharp attack. Yeah, and then anyway, not a lot going on. Took this, and then I put it into a sampler, right? So I did like this, and then I sliced it by the transients. So like going in here and just cutting it up where there's like a sharp attack, so where there's like a spike in the waveform. Like if you do it with lower sensitivity, it's like starts just drawing these lines where the slices are, right? And then so then I'm gonna solo this. Just sort of playing with a keyboard these slices. And then I made a really, really simple pattern, and that pattern is here. And then so this is like one export of the pattern, right? And then I just pitched it down to kind of like match the original thing. And this already I think is an octave up. So I went in there and oh, actually no. I think I might have pitched this an octave up and then put it through the sampler. And then this one is what is that? A fifth down, and then normal again, and then a fifth down again. And then so just going back to the beginning. There's some drums that come in right here. This is actually nothing. It's just empty. So we got this one, and this is nothing. This is muted. And then we got these. And I really like the Ableton 505 kit. I don't know why. It's just like that's my kit. So there's like a kick and a snare, and the snare even is like 61% chance, right? 61% chance. Same here. So the snare is like not even coming in all the time. Bass is always coming in on the 1 and the 2. No, not even the 1 and the 2. On the 1, because this is a 2-bar loop. And then I just have a bunch of like toms. Where are my toms? My open hi-hat. Cymbals, and they're super low probability. Like, actually no, these aren't super low. These are 50. But then over here, these are super low. Like that's 19. So yeah, it's just like a little drum pattern that goes for 4 loops and then cuts off right before this little transition to the second part. So let's hear that. Let's talk about the main elements first. So we played this guitar sample. That's just like same type of deal. There's a filter on it now, just kind of making it less, making it less. Before it's too much. This is so nothing going up on top. Serum bass continues. This bass is different bass line, different bass pattern, but the same sound. There's some chance elements down here. It's just like the root note of the chord, root note of the chord, root note of the chord, and then it jumps a little bit, like sometimes like an octave or a fifth. But it's really like not a lot going on there. And same for this whole part of the pattern. And then this is another drum pattern with like a lot of chance elements. So these kicks are always there. And then when you see like these little corners on these bass drums, these are like, what's that, 52% chance? And there's something like really low here. This is a cymbal. So this is the chance for each drum hit, and this is the velocity, so like how loud it is basically. And then as the drum pattern goes on, it kind of like sort of gets more complex. You can't really see it well here. Here now, that's better. Even if we shrink it a little bit. So you see like in the first section of it, there's just like one kick, and then later there's like a lot of kick going on, and there's this tom fill that always goes. So my CPU is running pretty high because I got a lot of plugins open and not enough freezing going on. So sorry about that click. And there's also, I wanted to say, the video and the audio when I play in Ableton, they might not be on, and there might be some clicks in the recording. Anyway, bass, lots of plugins with bass, just like Fatback, they're downloaded, a lot of things, and I just like flip the phase. You always got to remember to flip the phase and see whether or not it conflicts with the kick. And I'll show you the difference with that. It's crazy, to me at least. Let's see if I can get just the drums and this going on. I always forget how to solo two at once. Yeah, okay. So, versus, you can hear like more bass when I flip the phase. It's because of like some kind of phase cancellation thing going on. At least I think I can hear more bass. I don't know. So it's like it's subtle. Yeah, so it's like the kick will be going like if this is a sine wave, it's going like, and then the bass will be going like, and then those two like sine wave just cancel each other out, because that's how the summation works. And so if you flip the phase, it's making it, instead of go like this, and then it'll make it so that it like adds together and creates like a bigger wave instead of deconstructive, yeah, interference. Destructive, that's the word. Here's some birds. This is just like a sample, I don't know where that's from. This is something. I don't know what this says. Bro oscillator. This is also a sample. This is just like an impact to make like the transition hit. And it sounds like that. I think that's from the Glitch with Friends sample pack. Like a lot of these things are from that free sample pack. Like these snares and these hi-hats, and I don't even know what this is. Like, yeah. And there's a lot of practicing that has going on with that, like feedback echo thing is this. It's this like transition plugin. So I'll show you the transition plugin. It's this. Makes it do like feedback. No. Also to like create a transition to this next part, which is crazy. This is like color bass inspired. I wouldn't say it is color bass because I don't really know what color bass is in like experiential sense. I haven't listened to very much color bass. I've just seen small clips on Twitter, and I know to use the plugin Pitch Map. Okay, so let's listen to just the bass. Like, quote unquote, just the bass. So basically, this is the original bass. That's already like a patch here that has a lot of like harmonics going. right? I'm saying this is just the bass, but I think there's also like something changed wherein there was one of these automates so that it goes on like the main plugins. Sketch cassette comes off, right? No, it doesn't. I lied. I don't know. I thought that there was some other thing on here for sure, but anyway, there's plugins on it somewhere. There's a lot of stuff on the main. So this crazy bass, which already has a lot of harmonics, right? And so, taking those high harmonics and kind of like pitching them around and doing some Fourier transform stuff, and making it so that the like higher harmonics are like tuned to notes, and yeah, we're gonna do that, and you'll see it, and we're tuning it to, oh, I meant to put it in the key, like we could do D major, but maybe it's worse like that, I don't know. Can I play? No, Ableton crash. Back to color bass. Right, so the drop. We have this bass part, and this is being modulated by this CPU friendly version of the Ableton LFO, which is basically for any Ableton nerds looking at this is free, but I think you need Max for Live, but it's like a gen version of the usual one. I don't know why they wouldn't just do that. It's supposedly CPU friendlier. I don't know if it actually is, but because I haven't like done rigorous tests. Right, so without this plugin, let's listen to the bass. Already pretty crazy bass line, but we add the color bass plugin. You kind of like hear that melody coming, right? Because you have the upper harmonics that are being pitched to notes in the chromatic scale. I want to change this to D major just to see what it sounds like. I think I may have tried it already and it didn't sound good. I don't like this as much. Like, especially when we get to that part. I don't know why. Because it should, like, make sense to put it in the key, but... Did I put chromatic? Hold on. Is that... Yeah. I still feel like it sounded good before. Hold on. Where were we? Yeah, okay. So, this is a drum break, like just a solo called C-Town break. And it's being chopped up, and then I have a random arpeggiator, and then I have like all the notes highlighted, and yeah, it just plays random triggers from it. But what's cool about this actually is that the note value is changing. So look at this, and it's changing with a random LFO, and it'll go to like a 1/6 and a quarter note, right? And this LFO, actually the LFO isn't random, it's a sine wave, I forgot. It's just, you know, doing its thing. This I think is used as a filter later. And then there's this impact again. I love an impact. That's a good one. That's from the glitch pack again. I love the glitch pack. It's so good. And then there's these kicks. And it's not MIDI, it's audio for once. I usually use MIDI because I like to do chants and velocity things, but I was just like so lazy and working really fast. And then there's a riser in here. There's kind of like there's a fake out, I would want to say. Like you think there's going to be a transition a little bit, but then there isn't one. So that's what the riser is here. That's why this cuts out. Yeah, just like continues for the entire thing. So let's hear all that together. Yeah, so you heard the full track you get. What's interesting here is though this automation curve. I've never automated the master volume before, but it kind of like decreases in volume for this whole section before the drop, and then right before it goes down really sharply and then up really sharply and then back to normal. So that's cool. I think that the limiter on the main is like post this automation. I don't actually know though. I should probably check that. So after the drop, we're gonna get into the breakdown where it all breaks down. I bring back the lo-fi 505. I call it the lo-fi 505 because I just made all I used this lo-fi preset, and then I like put the gain up, and what else I do? LFOing something. Don't I? Oh, was digitalis? Digitalis comes on at some point. That definitely makes it more lo-fi. Panning some stuff, of course. What was I saying? To make it more lo-fi, I just made some changes. Oh, the LFOs are changing the drive and the drive tone. And they're pretty random. And then in the drop, transition, and the normal guitar part, all of this is pitched 2 semitones, I think, down. Maybe it's 2 steps with, I think it's like the kilohertz pitcher thing. The pitcher. This. Hypothetically, it was supposed to be anyway. Maybe that is like something that happened where it had crashed. Oh no, it's only for the second part. Okay, so just wait. For the first part, it's like Omnisphere regular, I think acoustic-ish bass, right? Yeah, this, and then it goes to like bass harmonics for this second part, and that's why it's 2 different tracks. Even though I could probably automate that and do that in better CPU ways. What else is going on here? This is, oh, something cool. This is very quiet and probably granulized as well. Yeah, it's going through a granular. So this is resynthesizing the main guitar melody. Like it's, I think I talked about resynthesis already, but it's like taking the Fourier transform. I'm gonna put it on screen. The stuff. So it's like it takes the wave and then it puts it into like, instead of this being a wave that is a sum of sinusoids, so like you have a really low sine wave and then you have like a higher sine wave and you add them together, and then you get this like spectra graph where you have like just points for, it's like, I don't know, there's this much of this frequency and there's that much of that frequency, right? It takes that and then it like, hold on, I'm not really explaining this well at all. I think that this is like a whole separate topic, but so it's resynthesizing the thing with sinusoids. It's like approximating the audio waveform with sinusoids, right, of the guitar. And for some reason it was really out of pitch. So I'm auto-shifting it to be like more in tune. And then it's going through a granular delay thing. It just makes it kind of sound like a cloud of higher sounds. This is nylon guitar strums. Nylon guitar is like hard to keep in tune too, so I don't know how in tune that is. And this is going to be nylon guitar harmonics, right? And this I think is nylon guitar. Notice the panning, right, left. This is nylon guitar riff. Yeah, And then, of course, there's the regular riff on electric. Being pitched now. Transient control is on their heavy. Right. And then so main guitar loop, and then these are harmonics on the classical guitar also. Right. And then you can't really hear them much though, they're pretty quiet. They're in the left. This is the actual serum bass. Again, this is called serum, but it's actually atmosphere because I dragged the pattern away from the track called serum. This is not anything. Oh, this is cool. This is like a reversed waveform of this. Like I took this guy and I clicked on it and then I reversed it. So if I was to do that again, I would go like chop, put it over here, and then reverse, and then put it over here, right? So just to go back, it kind of just like creates some symmetry, and then here there's chops where it's like I just took the waveform and then I made a little chop and then I pasted it a couple times over, but that's just to make like a little glitch effect. This is for symmetry though, and for transition reasons. Right, and so these are vocals, obviously. That's the reverse. Oh, what's going on? So without effects, let's try and get without effects. Let's turn these off. So what have I done with this? I don't even know. Transients, 100, bass. Where's the formant shifting in here again? Oh yeah, well I guess I've chopped it up as well. Without effects. I guess that's more like a voice, right? And then, so there's basically two tracks of that. This one and that one, they're slightly different. It's like, that's the vocal melody. And then I put the glitch effects on. And this is like, okay, so this is kind of random because it's 7 beats and that's not like an evenly divisible number, so it just sort of sounds randomer. Whoa. Don't want reverser in here. This is a gator, so it's like it's only if it's really loud. And so it just kind of sounds like like no, that's not even it. It just cuts the sound off if it's not loud enough. Modulator, I don't know what kind of modulator this is, but it's kind of like a chorus effect, so kind of like a lot of delays really fast. Retrigger just does the beat again that just played twice. So it's just like a beat repeat. Distortion, obvious. Delay, obvious. Tape stop is like, just kind of like stops the tape, but it makes like some kind of pitching effect happen because it's like a slowing down. While lowering the pitch, I think. Maybe it's speed. I don't know. It affects the pitch somehow. Lo-fi, I think, is just like a bit crusher with some kind of filtering going on. And FM, of course. And then Infiltrator is like the same thing as the glitch plugin, but just with a different rhythm. It's doing reverb, formant shifting, delay, decimate. This formant thing is really cool in here, by the way. Yeah, FM is just kind of like a filter modulation, I think. I don't know. Yeah, and so OTT is a really strong compressor, and ring modulation is... I'm not even going to try to explain ring modulation because I don't really understand it. I'll show you with and without ring modulation. beatboxing comes in. Kind of like adds some pitches in there. OTT. Like bits of distortion that are just in there for a little bit. That's all the glitch. And then this is a beatboxing. And then these are other glitch sound effects. So there's this, and they're really quiet and they're panned. Again, this kick just has nothing in there, apparently. I should double check that, because I think I've deleted a lot of parts. Yeah, it's just an empty clip. I think I actually had an empty clip in my thing when I was playing this from the session view. Is that what it's called? The session view to the other thing, like this clip. No, it has kick here. Is this an empty clip? No. I don't know what happened there. So, going back, undoing the solo. This